Welcome to Carbon's DIY Garage. Today is going to be a short video on how to replace the coolant temperature sensor or the coolant temperature sending unit on the 3.8 liter EGH V6 engine. This is on my 2011 Jeep Wrangler JKU, and the temp sensor is actually pretty easy. It's easy access, and it sits right here on the front of the engine, right next to the thermostat housing. And you do not need to drain the coolant system or do anything with the coolant system. It's just a screw it in, screw it out setup. So why bother making a video about it if it's that straightforward? Well, a couple of things that I have not seen really on other videos is how to remove the red locking tab on this connector, because it looks like it should be similar to the other ones on the Jeep, but it's not. And then also how far in to put the sensor, or how much torque to put into it so that it properly seals but you don't break it or break the aluminum manifold. So at least on these Jeeps, when we talk about red locking tabs, they are usually like this, and this is what we're used to, where we just flip them back like that and then it comes apart. Well, the tab on the temperature sensor is not like that. So instead, this entire top of the connector, which looks like it's part of the actual temperature sensor, slides up, and so you need to kind of pry on it a couple of different spots. And it, just like that, it pulls up, and once it's up, then you can reach down and push right in here and gently pull up, and it'll come loose, just like that. Once you have this connector off, then it's just a 19mm deep well or a 3/4 inch deep well to get it off. If you don't have a deep well socket that'll go over top of the connector housing, then I think it's a lot more difficult, challenging to get it off, because there's really not much space to get, say, a wrench or something like that in here. So deep well socket is definitely the way to go. And you can see a tiny little bit of fluid came out there, but nothing significant, no big geyser. So here's the new part from Standard Auto. I think it was like $15 off Amazon, and I'll leave a link in the video description. And you can see it's already got thread locker on it. And the way to install this that I've seen that works the best is just run it in until the thread locker is no longer visible. Or, in other words, you've got one or two threads still visible at the top. You don't want to run this all the way down to where that is fully seated. You want to leave some of it exposed. And that should be how you find the old sensor when you go to pull it out as well. The name of the game here clearly is do not ruin your engine block. So put this in by hand to get it started. Just thread it in gently. And once it's started, go ahead and put the wrench on it, checking to make sure that you don't go past that red thread locker. And I just learned something, that this new part uses a 20mm versus a 19mm. So that's an interesting change. All right, that is as far as I'm going to get it in. I know I said I wanted to get it to maybe one thread of thread locker showing, and it looks like there's two. But honestly, that's as hard as I was willing to try torquing that in. I even backed it out a little bit, tried to get it to go in a little bit further, but I did not want to run the risk of causing damage to the aluminum housing. So I'm gonna leave it there. Go ahead and connect the sensor connector here. Just push it down, it'll snap in place. Then you push the red top in, just like that. And then I'll go start up the Jeep, make sure that there's no gushing coolant coming out of there, and then this will be complete. Hopefully this video has been helpful, especially if you're looking for the tips on how to get this red tab disconnected from the sensor, and then how far to insert it without causing damage. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments section. Like the video if it's helpful, subscribe to the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Until the next video, you guys take care and have a good one.